Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Sal Strictly Art Live number 97. I'm your host, Rob Wilson. I'm a comic book artist, your friendly neighborhood quick play Adam Warlock, and many other things in addition to that. It is Wednesday, November 5th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as it continues to get a little bit chillier here in the DMV, we pretty much embrace the winter as it's on its way. A truly great thing being in an area where you get to experience the seasons change. It is a reminder that there's a season for everything. Life continues, you go through rough patches, and at times you get to yield the fruits of your labor. So today we're going to cover My Hero Academia, final season, episode 5. One Punch Man, Season 3, Episode 4. We're going to cover a little bit about... let me go back over this again. Okay, yeah, we're going to cover some critiques and maybe suggestions I have for like our communities. I may reference the previous live stream, some of the things I talked about over there as far as how the internet has influenced all kinds of communities, but I won't go too much of a diatribe on that this show. I'll be very specific with 4 specific points: apprenticeship, skill mastery, production, and economics. That'll be the focal point for that topic in that section. Also, I'll reveal how not just playing Marvel Rivals has been therapeutic for me, but as the queue times start to increase, I find myself sneaking in some bicep curls and some squats, some resistant loops, some high knees in between the sessions, and that's been quite helpful for me because I can stretch out my workout longer. Then when I'm done playing, I can go ahead and do a couple more concentrated sets of exercise, and then I'll be done. So 2 birds, 1 stone. Great thing. And finally, we're going to go ahead and cover Canva and Serif Affinity. Canva is a graphic design or a app used to create content, whether you're an artist, hobbyist, marketer, content creator. Canva has a little bit of everything and anything for you. Now I get it. It does have some AI attachments. Some people don't want to touch that at all. I get it. But it has been a stable for me for quite some time now. And I've reaped nothing but benefits from it. It's shown my work to be a lot more professional and so on and so forth. Now, Affinity is a multi-art program. They got their own version of Photoshop. They got their own version of Illustrator using vector art. And they also have a publisher version, which is basically used to make like magazine formats and all that kind of great stuff. So we're going to cover all their new latest updates because I didn't know that Affinity actually was bought out by Canva. And in this process, Canva announced that Affinity is 100% free if you have a Canva membership. That crushes Adobe. I'm sorry, not sorry. But we'll go ahead and cover all that and more this episode of 97 Strictly Art Live with me, your host, Rob Wilson. Let's get it.
Miami's hot, the stars went cold. We lost the line, we broke the mold. No fleet, no orders, just the glow of crew cut loose with nowhere to go. sounds and flips his color. Saxophone crimes just make him baller. DNA learns to cry in loops. Macho K flexes through the troops. Madame Troy, she sips and sees all your trauma in the breeze. Red alert, baby. Red alert, baby. Make it glow. Make it so. Where the crude time try to bury. Still too bright, too wild to go. Red alert, baby. Make it
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Still to this day, I don't care what anybody says, nothing is beating Captain Kirk getting off the jet with a hot chick. Nothing's beating that. I'm sorry. Red alert, baby. So yeah, here we are. I'm just going to be working on some practice stuff, some fundamentals. See, I got my reference stuff here. So I am just drawing some eyes for now, and hopefully I can get to more stuff too. So here we go. My Hero Academia, Season 8, Final Season, Episode 5. The episode marks the continuation of the climatic battle between Izuku Midoriya and Tomura Shigaraki. Following the Kazuki Bakugo's victory over One for All, the focus shifts to Deku's desperate fight against Shigaraki, who has inherited the full power of All for One, and it delves into Deku's resolve, emphasizing his belief in saving Shigaraki despite his monstrous actions, a theme highlighted by All Might's vision, a vulnerable child within Shigaraki. The narrative centers on One for All's users devising a plan for Deku to counter Shigaraki's overwhelming power, particularly his quirk decay. Now, at one point, Tomura Shigaraki was about to end the Earth by decaying the Earth, and Deku got a chance to respond to that by using high-powered pluck, and it was wind enough to knock off the debris that had the infected decay involved. And the plan started being formulated. It was a lot of tug of war. Deku's on borrowed time. There's only but so much he can do, and that's why the survivors, or the people that make up One for All or All for One, One for All, pretty much formulate a plan to try to force his, when Shigaraki absorbs his power, basically one of them will catapult past that point and get to that break in Shigaraki's psyche, and thus getting to the child and taking him out for good. So even the stakes are even higher, and in my opinion, it seems like they're trying to end this series, might end very quickly, sooner than, like I said, the previous episodes, a whole lot sooner than 24, 23 episodes, something like that. So much has happened so quickly. A lot of flashbacks. We got origin story of All for One, and a whole lot more. But it looks like they're really trying to wrap this up. I don't know if they're going to spend a lot of time towards the final episodes with nostalgia, but how, and please, if you read the manga, don't spoil it. I'd like to see how it turns out, but I'm just asking this rhetorical question: how do they intend to wrap things up on a good note somehow, hopefully? I mean, it seems like everything kind of started with All for One's power, and Shigaraki's the last remaining living user of it. So with all the quirks being born in a way around his time, could that mean that all the quirks will go away with the defeat of Shigaraki? I'm already speculating, trying to get some ideas together. It's possible, may not be possible. Who knows? We'll see. By the way, we are streaming live from YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, and IG. I like to keep those 5 intact in case something happens on the YouTube side. Always try to prepare for YouTube. Everybody else has pretty much been quite cooperative, but that YouTube, you gotta watch them. Because if not, well, it is what it is. YouTube's constantly changing. That's as far as I'm going to go on that. So, pretty much, Bakugo's out of commission. Everything's riding on Deku. It's a shame, though. Sometimes trailers or intros of anime give away what the final plot may be. And I noticed in the intro, everyone's kind of like putting their hands to the sky. So I hope this doesn't result in a worldwide spirit bomb. That would be a little too much for me. And I get it. You want to pay homage to Dragon Ball, but hopefully that doesn't turn out that way. Excellent show. I enjoy it. I don't know if everybody else does, but I enjoy it. It's one of the few anime I can always count on as a continuation. There have been so many battles, and 8 seasons is a lot. With 24 episodes, that's pretty damn good. And in my opinion, it's not too overwhelming, not like Bleach or Naruto, or One Piece. Those, I know people love them to death, but it's almost like, hey, if you don't catch it from the beginning, you got a long way to go. And then they got a live action series too on Netflix. It's a lot to keep up with. But nonetheless, great show. This one, My Hero Academia. So, I would like to say on a side note that I got a chance to watch all of Berserk again, the original series, and complete it. And, man, everything changes like the last couple episodes. Once the charm has been activated on the full blood moon. Absolutely brutal. When they rescue Lord Griffith. And great show. I have not seen any of the updated versions. I tried to watch one of them on Netflix and things got kind of weird and I was like, nope, click, bye. But we shall see. Because I am curious the way that episode ended. I think there's more to continue with that. Because in the beginning of the original show, it showed how the Black Swordsman, he already had, scratched eye. He already had the arm that he lost, that he turned into a mechanical automatic crossbow, killing machine. And I'm curious if any more continued after that, after, Griffith transformed and violated both his and Guts' girl, the one who couldn't make decisions. Pretty brutal ending in that case. So, moving on. One Punch Man. Let me tell you. This thing is crazy. Alright, so Garou returns to life after being seemingly killed, undergoing a disturbing transformation where his clothes have fused to his body and his wounds have healed in bizarre ways, indicating a substantial increase in his power. The transformation follows his brutal battles against Royal Ripper, and Bug God. The episode centers on Garou's infiltration of the Monster Association to rescue young Taru, accumulating a decisive confrontation with the Royal Ripper at the Monster Association headquarters. Garou defeats Royal Ripper in a single strike. He did more than defeat him in a single strike. He annihilated him and turned him into tomatoes. That's as descriptive, bestly descriptive that I could possibly be. Um, it was one slice, and then it was um, a big swipe that let out a lot of tomatoes dropping. I mean, you would have thought it was a tree in that jail prison where the kid was that Garl rescued. And for me, honestly, that was pretty much the gist of the whole episode. Garl's recovery in the beginning and his revenge in the end. Those were pretty much what was important. Everything in the middle was, satire. The Blizzard Brigade, that chick, she's still trying to recruit One Punch Man while he's trying to cook food, and then everybody's hanging out, waiting to eat. And, a little bit of fury flies, but no damage in, is it One Punch Man's apartment or the King's apartment? Which is crazy to think that he's still gotten away after all this time with pretending to be the number one ranked hero while other people actually have saved him. It was pretty crazy. So that was that. And yeah, not much depth beyond that in that episode. Just, hey, Garlo's back. He's ready to kick butt. Now, I did see on Facebook, I don't know how accurate it was or truthful, they did state that a little bit of AI generative AI was used on what's her name, the female from the Blizzard Brigade's face, and it made the original hand artwork look a lot better. And that's one of the tough parts about production and stuff like that, because as I've heard from American comic book artists and animators, and just from the process in particular, you do have to have stencils ready for faster production. You just do. So AI, in a way, could be considered your interactive and highly, highly responsive, quick turnaround stencil maker for animation. Whether people like it or not, that's discussion for each individual to figure out themselves. However, hey, I didn't notice there was much of a difference. I mean, it looked pretty good, but the side by side that they show the hand drawn versus the AI update, yeah, you could see the difference. So, it made for a better look. Again, let each one search among his own soul when it comes to AI, and just prepare yourself. This is going to be a whole lot more important decision making on AI, just for compared to just measly whether or not it's being used for animation in the future. Get ready for that, okay? These petty squabbles that people have over this stuff from like 2 years ago. Yeah, we'll see how you feel when in about 5 years from now. Remember that 2030. So yeah, moving on. Wow, that's crazy. That was the gist of that episode. That was it. I'm really surprised too. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of filler because I want to get this little eye done, and then I'm gonna direct you guys towards some other areas before I move on to the next topic. In fact, let's see. I'm gonna save the Marvel Rivals talk for a minute. Next year is going to be a little quick segment. Next year is going to be the return of fighting games, the comic book kind. You got the Invincible tag team fighting game coming out from the makers of Killer Instinct. You got Marvel Tokon Fighters coming out next year. What else? Is there one more? Yeah, I saw a Avatar fighting game which looked pretty good for it being the first of its kind. Correct me if I'm wrong, unless there's another Avatar, the Last Airbender fighting game. It looked pretty good. So those are going to be some things I'm going to try to hop on. Fighting games is a whole nother thing compared to like Marvel Rivals. Fighting games, that's the kind of stuff right there that'll break a person's spirit. I remember back in the arcade days, we used to prank around because we worked with we knew the people that worked in the arcade, Timeout Arcade, Forestville Mall. Shout out. Um, One time they set the damage up really high, and I was playing with Psylocke in X Men: Children of the Atom, and I was fairly good. Your reaction time had to be damn good in that game to play with her. She was fast as hell. So I was going through the game on the highest damage level, and somebody pops up, puts in some tokens. And it's like, oh snap! And others are kind of looking at him, not saying nothing. I know we were terrible back then, and if he wants to play, he wanted to play, right? So I tested out the most basic thing, and that's the Psylocke uppercut. If you're smart in the game, not to take away anything from this guy, it might have been his first time playing. If you're smart, you will realize that Psylocke has a unlimited crouching fierce, which is like an uppercut. And if you don't block it and you keep trying to hit buttons while you get reset and uppercut it again and again and again, you're going to die. Now, this happened very quickly because it was at the highest damage setting, which the guy that worked there, Damien, shout out to you, bruh. He set it at the highest level, and we were just testing it out as far as the going through the arcade mode. Going all the way up from Juggernaut to Magneto, sub boss and boss of bosses, with them Bruce Lee hands. And yeah, this guy, he was just pressing buttons, and literally got two perfects on him because he was just pressing buttons. He wasn't aware of, okay, maybe I need to block. And after he lost, he left the arcade and he left the mall. It was pretty bad. It was pretty brutal. We were cracking up. But yeah, fighting games like online now, they're even more brutal because you got infinite combos, infinite juggles. Everybody does their loops and all that. Those tournament guys and those people that want to be tournament guys, so on and so forth. What a big mess. But we'll see how those go. I know Marvel Tokens is going to be a different type of game based on the way they set it up now. And we shall see. Like I said, it's going to be a glorious and challenging time. So that may be when I scale back from Marvel Rivals. I can only play so many video games because I got artwork to get done and stuff like that. So that is that, and that's the way it's going to be. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys one of the reasons why I do this. I'm a comic book artist, and because, well, I'm an artist in general for the most part, but because I'm a comic book artist, I have tons of stuff and artwork that I do, and I've created over the years. Now, I do have online stores that you can actually purchase my work. That is available on sale right now, and I will show it to you. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. So this is my link tree. It's actually scrolling at the bottom. If you type in that link, that will take you here. And everywhere where you can find me. TikTok, my website. I actually have full shop. These are products on Amazon in which you could actually help a brother out. If you're looking for art supplies, you can pick them up there through my link, and that will actually help fund my artwork because I definitely try to create artwork based on my skill level to sell. That is available. Don't really do commissions. I like creating original art. So what I have are in my black and whites, I have some digital pieces, which going to my website. Let me get you there again. Let's see. Going to my website here. I have digital art of Elvira. And you can download it. It's $5. And then let's see what else. Yep. I have all these. The Ches, Night Stalkers, Alaskan Woman, Ultra Instinct Doomsday, Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn's dressing up like Stacy Gwenpool. I got Dead Joke, the Joker dressed up as Deadpool. I got a Demon Queen piece. I got Mummy version of Slimer. Those are my digital pieces that are available. Now, let's see if I can go to my full page here. Yeah. This is my full website, which is also my link tree. You can see my showcases of artwork, what I've done in the past, and stuff that I'll put out in the future. And once it is done and ready, I will go ahead and have it available to sell. Also, if you want to see my work, the process, because I know some in the art community now, people are asking to see time lapses of people's work to make sure it's not AI, which the only thing I use AI for is more artwork to see. And actually, AI is a good educational tool for me because I can tell from my experience of looking at anatomy and things like that, what part of it is off and what part of it is accurate. And I can naturally make those adjustments myself as I draw out a piece if I'm using an AI art pose for reference. That's it. So let's see here. Oh, okay, we got one of those kit guys. Trying to sell stuff. More power to you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I got years of artwork that I've done. Speed paintings or time lapses. I've added some pretty cool music to it. It's like almost like a cinematic experience. Wait a minute, who is that guy? Wait a minute. Oh, it's me back in the day. Back when I had the little mini fro. Yeah, so there's proof and evidence of my body of work. And also, I got prints here. I got art poster prints. I got art prints. I have canvas prints, which have the hard background surface. And I have HD metal prints. Now, the HD metal prints, made in Canada, they come out pristine. Pristine. I have ordered some of them, which I plan to take to some Comic Cons in the future when I go again. And yeah, that's what I got. So I have them available. And the best thing about it, because I had to learn automation, production automation, while I was on a couple deployments in the past. And what I did was I set up my business model where if I had to be deployed or if I had to be somewhere else where I wouldn't be able to provide fulfillment for order that was placed for my artwork, they could go through here, and once they placed their order, they put in their information, made the purchase. ArtStation took care of the rest of the heavy work. Like they went on and printed the material, high quality print, whether it's paper, art print, canvas, and then even the metal prints. And like I said, I've bought samples of my own work just to see how the finish looks, and the metal prints are superb. You got a hardback, and it's physical media, and it's quite durable. So if you want something to hang up in your place, some original artwork, I'm not really big into fan art to print out because it's a big issue if it becomes popular and all that kind of stuff. But we know as long as I've been around, my stuff's not really that popular. I I do draw for people, and outside of the comic book community, I've done pretty well in that area. It's just the times have changed, and I have to adjust with it. So, with that being said, one of the changes that I have heavily advocate for is adjusting your business model or positioning your hobby towards a business model. And that's some suggestions I have for the art community as we go into that segment. Now, as I mentioned in the previous episode, we know that social media has played a very influential way in a lot of circles and communities of hobbies. We notice that a lot of them are quite derogatory, which is a shame. And obviously, it's just more eyeballs. And because some people are so far away, when they see new artwork, they're going to challenge it, which is fair. But here's the thing. Artwork is normally challenged in an academic setting for the most part. That's how it was, at least. Did I lose my... Why did this go out? Let's see. I don't know why that dropped out like that. Yeah, in the academic setting, because I went to several colleges for art anyway, and then eventually I learned that college was not for me, and I could produce better progress of art for people by actually doing it for people. Now, for some reason, the internet has empowered people to go after artwork for any reason at all. Maybe the person woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe the person doesn't like the artist. Any reason. I mean, resentment, jealousy, you name it. If you are serious about taking your craft towards the next level, the first thing you have to do, you have to do this. The first thing you have to do in our community, especially independent, is apprenticeship. Now, traditionally, apprenticeship involves you on a job, you get trained on the job, you have a mentor or something like that to guide you in the directions in which is most effective in you completing your job or task at hand. On the independent side, I think it's definitely important. Like, if you can't find, or before you even look, let me put it this way, before you even look for a mentor, you got to do self-apprenticeship. So that means find your favorite artist, find your couple favorite artists, ask yourself what kind of artist you want to be. Storyboarding artist, character design artist, illustrator, comic book artist. Some of those niches have very specific areas of expertise. If you go into concept artists, you may not need to complete a full piece of art from sketch to ink to color. Depending on what medium you're using. If you're using digital, I use digital a lot because I can lug it around with me everywhere I go, wherever I need to go, without stuff getting damaged or rained on, because I keep it in the case. Not trying to catch a case, but I keep it in the case. and that works out for me. But apprenticeship, self apprenticeship, find the artists that are headed towards the direction that you want to go. If you want to be production artist at Lucas, Light and Magic or whatnot, yeah, you're probably going to have to go to art school to get placement. And that's the unfortunate part with some expertise to work for the big companies. If you want to work for the big companies, go to them. Just go to them. They'll it's going to require some time and money for you to gain expertise, because they have, a lot of them have, even though that not everyone has gone through it, a lot of them have this roadblock where you have to have a degree in order to be accepted. For art, I think that's nonsense, but they want to make sure you know how to work and operate tools on a high production level, so that way you're not wasting the company's time or those of your peers that all y'all are getting actually paid to complete a project. So that's a little bit different than the independent scene. And it's important to note, industrial methods can be used on the independent scene, especially if someone's very serious about it. And you can apply those methods in no time. But if you're just starting out and you're trying to find your way, you're trying to find your niche, that is the first thing you got to determine what kind of artist you want to be. And again, find the art that appeals to you the most and decide whether or not, do research. YouTube's great for research. Decide whether you want to be that kind of artist. You got tons of artists from the industry now that explain what it takes, what you would have to go through in order to get there. And to be honest, it's like the NBA. You still might not get there, with tons of people trying to compete to get there. But then the whole industrial side of things, you have to keep in mind, has changed, is in the process of changing again. Current artists have been started to get laid off due to use of AI or other methods that are cheaper for the company to use. And this has been a shock to those artists who have not heeded the warning of those that have mentioned, hey, AI's on the table now. It's the new game in town. Look out. Have some kind of backup plan, because your spot is not guaranteed forever in that portion of the industry pertaining to art creativity. For production, big Hollywood production, comic book production, that kind of thing, it's not guaranteed. I get it. The comic book industry, people have had their official statements that, like Jim Lee has stated that DC Comics will never use AI art. That may be just on his watch. That's not guaranteed forever. But I tell you what is guaranteed forever: Affinity with Canva will be free forever, as they've already stated. But that's on to the next subject. So, apprenticeship has a lot going on into it. You're talking about hours and hours of study and research. You practice. You got to have a level of discipline if you are serious about becoming a decent artist. And here's the thing: practice never stops. I notice in like the indie comic book scene, I hear often more people are concerned about getting a book crowdfunded than the level of quality that is involved in the book, whether it's the writing or the artwork. So I think the first approach should be through the apprenticeship process, finding out where you're going, where you want your niche to go. Next up would be skill mastery. So whether you're a writer, or artists, master your skills. With art, that's the side that I know. Um, get as many art books as you can, whether it's if you're dealing with the comic book stuff, how to draw the Marvel way. That's important. If you want to take that approach, it may be, well, it is the gold standard. It has worked forever. Um, no question about it. It's a proven method that works. As people say, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Do what works in that case. Not everything that is on your path may work for you, though. Just keep that in mind. That could be subject to change. So, yeah, art books. I just picked up a crowdfunded. I just received a crowdfunded art book, The Art of Andy Kruger's X-Men. I have the art of Jim Lee's Artist Edition book, X-Men. I have that. I got tons of anatomy books. Masters of Anatomy, that's a great series. That's on Kickstarter as well. I highly recommend surrounding yourself with the kind of artwork that you want to produce. That is A1 number important. And obviously, if you're a writer, which is something I had to learn later, because pretty pictures ain't just enough when it comes to sequential art. There's a story that goes along with it. So with that, I think it's important that you learn how to write. That requires going into the type of writing that you want to produce. So a lot of stuff where, I don't know if I've explained this, but I've said this on previous shows. When I buy comic books, when I buy art books, they are more than just, a great story to enjoy in my free time. They are reference material. They are reference material. And I will utilize the reference material as best I can to produce what it is I'm trying to produce as well. For me, it's not going to be a bunch of fan art. There are plenty of artists already doing that, which is one of the reasons why I think that market is very much saturated. If I did fan art, it would be something very unique, more like crossover, a crossover of something people have never heard of or thought of before. That's how I like to make my mark on that. And still, some people will debate up and down that would never happen and XYZ. So when it comes to the art community on the indie side, I think it's important to make sure you do or you create what you want to create first, what you want to see first, before you focus on the approval of the masses or peers. Because me personally, I've heard advice from just about everybody. Some decent people that I take their advice in high regard. Others, scumbags, that I had to learn later that their advice was worthless because they weren't there when my journey started and they didn't stay there as my journey continues to see the improvement. So that's another thing you got to look out for when it comes to skill mastery. People are going to give you advice, but you have to decipher what advice applies to you and what is worth your time. Because we have a finite amount of time on this earth. You can make money. Absolutely. Now, going back to apprenticeship, I definitely want to say this. If you have a day job, keep it. Keep your day job. Start changing some of your habits so that way your day job helps fund your hobby. And then eventually you want to integrate your hobby. If you're serious, some people just want to play around, but if you want to integrate your hobby into a type of business, which we'll get to the last of the 4 points I want to cover, which is economics, but that's important. You want to make sure you have a means to fund your hobby so that way it eventually grows. On the independent scene, especially in comic books, I've seen people be reactionary when it comes to integrating their um, their sources and resources to which they can produce stuff to other platforms. There's nothing wrong with that, but eventually you want that growth where you can become sustainable in house if you can. And do it however way you can, whether you got to take double shifts, may not have much time to draw, but keep practicing. You can keep doing that self apprenticeship, as I mentioned. You can look at more artwork. Pinterest is great for that. You got both AI art and you got traditional art on Pinterest. There's tons of stuff to reference. And just keep in mind that people will give you praises all day and say, oh, that looks great. But if you're in the mindset where you're trying to sell art and people are giving you praises only or likes only, and they're not actually buying your art, you have to expand the scope of your reach. Don't stay stagnant on that. You cannot stay stagnant on that, because if you do, you're going to be frustrated, like I've been, and it's not cool. Because if you're taking your art seriously, or your writing seriously, however way you do it, it has to be worth something for you. Nothing in life is free. And I think it's very important that in any community, if you're not really getting the type of results from the hard work that you put in, move on. Find another community. Some communities are healthier than others. And you want to look out for that. You want to value that when you do find it. Be on the lookout for manipulators, people that will gaslight you and boost you up in order to have you feel good and then try to get free art out of you, which you feel terrible afterwards because you realize you have been used. Those are very important things to look out for, because you're going to waste time appealing to more and more people. If they're willing to put up a price, start low on how much you charge. Compare how much other people charge based on their skill level, and name recognition, of course, because name recognition is so important. That's why you have people that used to work for Marvel. They go on the indie side and say, hey, I'm a former, Marvel or DC comic artist, and I have X amount of years experience, and here's my book of what I wanted to create. In that process of self-apprenticeship, I would highly recommend vetting the people that you want to support. If their ideals do not align with yours, or some people like to put all their information and business out on the internet, you have the opportunity to study them, not just, the art, but study them, because eventually most artists that draw in a style that of an artist that they would like to meet one day or have met, it doesn't always turn out well regarding their operations on the internet. It's sometimes disappointing. And again, manipulators come in all forms. The comic book industry in particular has had cutthroat people and manipulative people. So you have to look out for that. Protect yourself at all times, in the words of Floyd Mayweather. In that regard, too, where we're talking about skill mastery, also find other things that you might like to do to decompress off of when you take a break from trying to master your art. They say take a break or get a good night's rest so that way you can look at your artwork in progress with a fresh set of eyes. Absolutely. But I also say find other forms of media to draw inspiration from, whether it's anime, movies, movie plots, all that kind of stuff, comic book movies. Depending on what genre you want to go towards, you can focus on specific type of movies. Lord of the Rings for medieval stuff, 300 for spin on historical things, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And again, I have mentioned this in the previous show, that when you do that, when you watch this stuff, don't just watch the movie itself, watch the behind the scenes. See how they operate, see how they practice and put together certain scenes. Get an idea of the behind the scenes concept. One thing I've definitely heard that was very important in the comic book indie space is that I think it said, don't just be a fan, you know, look at things on a production level, which is the next subject in this, the next part of this subject. So, production. As far as I've seen in any space, and it's been quite lucrative, people have made tons of money and successful runs and some unsuccessful runs in regards to using crowdfunding. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Fund My Comic. Those avenues have been great for people, especially starting out. And as I mentioned before, if you've had great success, eventually you want to branch off to where you can create stuff in-house. The Rippaverse is a perfect example of this. Eric July started from selling one comic book, to which millions of dollars were made, to where he got a warehouse, and now he's offering a Rip-a-Sin process for other comic book creators for a fee, based on what they need and negotiation, which business is all about negotiation as well. So those are the type of things that are very important. Also, production. Again, the crowdfunding thing, people are going to make more money that way, pay themselves, but then people say that it went to the production, paying artists and whatnot and things like that. Sometimes big events are not worth all of the work and hands in the pie. Sometimes big events are not worth all the hands in the pie. Sometimes if you find a small, or decent size production, or find a way to create a storefront where automation works, where, hey, you got the book up on a website. All people have to do is go to the link, purchase it, order it, and the production company from there goes ahead and they fulfill that order. That frees up your time. Your time is just as valuable as the money that you make. Again, if you are not making money, or if you're not getting traction in the current community of art that you're in, expand. Go beyond plus ultra. People that have complimented your work but have not put any skin in the game, you have to move on. Especially if you are moving with the drive and purpose. Being friends is great, but part of the process, if you want to make money, using your artwork, creating artwork, you have to expand in other areas. Patreon, things like that are great ways to do so. Also, with that being said, through the production, especially if you are working with another company, be cognizant of how you act, carry yourself, and what you say on the internet, because people have a right, just like your employer, to check your background and see what it is that you say on the internet. This is no longer, the 90s where, hey, what's done in the dark stays in the dark, what's done in Vegas stays in Vegas. No, everybody has a smartphone. And if you're acting the fool in public, chances are someone is recording you, or you're in the midst of people acting the fool in public. Someone's recording you, and that could get out and ruin relationships. That can ruin work relationships. And honestly, you don't want that, because if you act up, now let's think about this from an adult perspective. I get it. There are some people that get into this whole thing young. They may run into the wrong people that guide them off a cliff. It's unfortunate. That's why I'm talking about this in particular, based on my experience a couple of years that I've been in a comic book community in which things happen. So keep in mind of how you carry yourself on the internet, especially if you're dealing with other people. Do the responsible thing and consider the actions you take and the things you say online, and ask yourself, could this affect people I work with? Be responsible. Be responsible. Sure, we know the easiest way to internet fame, if you want that with the super chats and all that, is to make a fool of yourself. Platforms like YouTube or damn near anywhere on social media, people are praised in droves for acting a fool, making a fool of themselves. But that can burn relationships. Be cognizant of that. So if you're working with a print company that has some ideologies and you agree with them, but you're hanging with people that have opposing views that could be detrimental to your relationships, sometimes you got to pull back. You got to ask yourself constantly, is this person for me or against me? Do they have any regard in my growth, or are they just here to, just act a fool, let the good times roll? You have to ask yourself these questions because people are getting fired from all kinds of stuff. Not just their paying jobs. Some people are being dismissed in their clothing line and things of that nature because the actual businesses, via production that may provide services for which you may need, are just not going to put up with it anymore. You know, you can't act like a fool your entire life. Eventually, you do have to grow up. We all do. Or be stuck in a loop until we learn our lesson, which could be someone's whole lifetime. They got to figure that out. That's for sure. So, production is more than just, hey, I need this from this person, they got a good quote for me. You have to be aware of a level of respect, and in this day and age, I get it, the internet worships and praises trash talking and stuff like that, but you have that power to decide whether or not you want to feed the crowd, because eventually you feed the crowd, the mob will come for you. They'll turn into a mob, they'll come for you in some form or fashion. You can't make everybody happy. So if you stick to your goals, keep those in mind, in the forefront, no matter what, you'll do well. Or at least you won't have to worry about consequences of burning bridges or making a fool of yourself. But that's why it's so important to go back to the self-apprenticeship thing. Because if you're focusing more on your art and your craft, then that should be your driving purpose. That's one of the reasons why I scale back my time on the internet, because it's like, hey, this is what I got, guys. This is the time that I have to do it. The less time I spend on the internet, the better, because that means I could be focusing without distraction. Not trying to crowd please, but simply to get stuff done. And I get it. They say you have to market yourself and things like that. But ask yourself this: how do you want to be remembered? You want to be remembered as the world's greatest goofball, or the person that actually summoned his talent at will and delivered on the deadline? Sorry, that's one of my favorite quotes from Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino was genius in that movie. So those are important things. Based on my experience, I think that's very important and helpful. We have seen way too many people expose themselves, do unscrupulous behavior, even say some of the most outrageous things in private and chat groups and all that kind of foolishness. It's just not worth it, man. And if somebody tries to strong arm you into a cause that you really don't have a stake on, sometimes it's time to move on. A mentor is not meant to be there your whole lifetime, and the teachers are meant to teach for a time. Eventually, you gotta fly. You gotta fly the coop. You have to fly the coop. You can't be a full-time baby chick tweeting and twerping, the rest of your life. These are just important things to remember and reflect upon. Things are changing so much, and I will say this: the internet is no longer, and the internet is it's not that fun-loving thing that was cool back in like 2008, 2010, where you could just say whatever you want, do whatever you want. You got a lot of things that are that can be used to stack up against you, and it's your choice whether you want to act a fool. You can, but it's going to cost you. Oh, it's going to cost you a lot now, but it's going to cost you even more later. 5 years, you got 5 years. Get yourself ready. Get yourself right. Your digital footprint, just like in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, as explained in there, will determine what you will have access to, what you're allowed to do. It's only going to get worse. So go ahead and start training yourself to be properly disciplined now. Sure, you could talk about stuff that you like, entertainment and all that, but making a fool of yourself and being a detriment to other people, that does not help any community grow at all. And I think it's very important to come to that realization by now. I mean, I had no idea showing up back in, 2022, after I did art courses and stuff like that. I had no idea, but I quickly learned, hey, there's some things I don't mind doing. There's some things I just don't want no part of. It does me no good. I spent most of my 20s, having fun and doing all that kind of stuff. Dude, I am double that age. So it's not going to work. It's not going to be helpful for anybody. It may take time for that to sink in, but you honestly got to ask yourself, how bad do you want your goals? Are you truly serious about it? Or you just want to be the life of the party? You can be the life of the party, but again, that has consequences. And for men in particular, let me make this very clear. The burden of performance is heavily upon us. Try not to compare yourself to other people, because you don't know what doors they've opened or closed to get to where they're at. I think that's very important, to keep your eyes on the prize. And that'll help you get further too. It may seem like a solitary road or the road less traveled, but nonetheless, when you achieve your goals, there's nothing more rewarding than that. So just prepare yourself for that, and how people may change their tune and draw their sword against you. Their digital sword against you, possibly bad mouthing you and all that kind of stuff. Just remember, you're in control of your own life. That's what's more important than getting the appeal of the crowd. Because again, crowd may love you one day, peers may love you one day, but they can turn on you too. So don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Just prepare yourself. So production again. Look at other means of production. Just because a lot of people are using the same avenue for production doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be effective for everyone. Do what works for you. You may not have a big budget or have time to do fulfillment. For some reason, somebody may say something that'll absolutely shun a lot of people from what it is you're trying to get done as far as creativity. Move on to a different community. Go somewhere else. You have to constantly expand and get into the mindset of expanding, because if you don't, you're going to sit in a frustrated pool of pity and not understand why things are not changing, because you're not doing things different. You have to do things different. You can listen or even make suggestions. Hey guys, hey, this worked for me. And if you get met with rebuttals, keep it to yourself. Keep doing what works for you. The tortoise beat the hare, not because he followed the crowd. He just had his own pace. He's seen the hare fly by, but regardless, he kept one target and kept the pace. So I think that's very important to remember. Production, again, exhaust every avenue that you could possibly fathom. And then if you're not sure, that's what your Grok and ChatGPT are for. Ask them, hey, what are some avenues that I can take to produce art? Now, obviously, I came from like the fine art background, where if someone wanted a piece of fine art, said, okay, what do how do you want it, and when do you need it by? Very simple. So coming into this indie space for comic book creators is very different. Very different. This model of volunteering free artwork, that only gets you so far. And again, crowd pleasing, it may be cool now, but again, crowd can turn on you. And then when it does, you're not hurting. You didn't hurt anybody else in the long run but yourself for whatever amount of minutes of fame. So just keep that in mind. Let's get to the last portion of this segment, which is economics. If you don't know how to manage your money, and you've come into a lot of money based on, comic book sales, any number of things like that, right? You got tons of free resources to learn how to budget your money. And then with that education, discipline is something that you can't learn. You can't be just told to be disciplined in something. You can learn certain steps, you can take certain methods, but it's something that you have to actually do in order for it to work. And you have to fight it. It's an ongoing battle. Can't really say it's an uphill battle until after so much time that you have a routine that's been very effective. And then you can look back at the results. You've got a body of work to reference. So that's something very important to look at. Get the economics down. Let's say you're at a convention. There's an after party. Do you really have to go? Is there everybody you need to know there? Maybe not, especially on the indie scene. Where people are out partying, that's less work that's being done. You could be the hard worker that goes back to your hotel room after another day at the convention and just spends your time working on your craft then. Surround yourself with fellow artists, people that don't do art or writing. I'm not saying, keep them out of your circle, but only give them so much of your time. I think that's the main key important thing to take away from that. Only give them so much of your time, because creating art takes time. Now, if you got a good synergy with folks that, accountability, that back you up with accountability. Hey, you on task, you working on this? Okay, let me see what you got. Here's what I got. That kind of thing. Which, that's the other part too you got to look out for. When you're sharing your work with other peers, be careful, because not everyone has your best interest in mind. and they could end up stealing your stuff. You don't want that at all. If you have a really good imagination and you know what it is you want to create, be aware of people that are constantly wanting to see your work, and you start to see similarities. I'm not saying hide your work. Well, you can, because a lot of artwork now on social media gets stolen by AI anyway. So you manage it the way you can is what works for you. But at the same time, you got to use a level of caution. You got to use a level of caution for anything you do on the internet. It's no longer 2008. You definitely can't say whatever you want. Let me correct myself. You can say whatever you want, but there are consequences to it. So just keep that in mind and keep it ever forward. So I think those are some pretty useful tips. You know, I'm not out to sit back and bash everybody, but those are some useful tips if you're new to art communities or to existing art communities. Based on looking at Canva's latest presentation, which we'll get to that as well. We got 2 more subjects to cover. I'm going to take a break after this. Look at communities that thrive and ask yourself, why do they thrive? You know, ask questions. Look at other people's artwork. Before you respond, especially on social media, before you respond to people, look at the comments. Take a look at the comments and see where the conversation is going, what questions are being asked. Chances are, if you have a question and you're in a large community, chances are someone's already asked the same question that you intend to ask. So you could free up your time that way by, observing. You learn a lot more from observing than taking a lot of action. Observing into taking calculated action, I think, is much more effective. So just like a wolf, he'll starve himself before he makes a mistake to hunt. Kind of keep that mindset in the rear. I wanted to finish this. Try to get some lines on here. So yeah, I hope that helps. Anyone that is watching this, or the replay, or live, I hope that helps, because every year I have to do an assessment of what works. All the tools and software that I use, I have to do an assessment of how effective was this year. Did I use it more often than not? Did it help me gain anything? So that's one of the key things you want to look at, because growth is important. You may do artwork just for the love of it, but making money off of it doesn't hurt. You know, there's some artists out there whose next meal depends on the artwork being sold on the streets. So just kind of realize that it helps when you have a good circle, and especially you get referred to do artwork. If you're in a community where you've offered your services, no one bites, and you see the same people getting deals, you got to expand, you got to move outward. You have to. Or else it's just going to create frustration, which is something I've gone through. So that's why I reiterate that again. And, you have the power of what it is you want to do. The minute you give that power away to somebody else that will take you for granted, maybe first time, okay, it's their fault. But if you keep doing it, giving it to them, then it's your fault. Because you know what's involved. Sometimes you have to peel yourself away from the crowd, back away from the TV in order to see the big picture. Now, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. By all means, follow all my social media on the scroller below, the link tree, RWARTS, that's Rob Wilson Arts, right here on Strictly Art Live, number 97. And I will be right back. All right, we are back and on to the next subject. So, I've been playing Marvel Rivals for a hot minute now. They're about to come up to their 1 year anniversary. And one of the things I have learned recently is that there is downtime between matches, and because I only play quick play, there are a number of options that I could do in my free time. And dawned on me, I was like, well, shoot. Let me get a couple reps in, get a couple sets in. Since you already have to be alert in that game a lot. And here, let me put this disclaimer out before if I may turn this into a short, somebody accuses me of pretending to be a pro. I'm not a pro, I only play quick play, and that's good enough for me. Decompression in between art sessions, that works for me best. I'm not saying that anybody else should do it, and that, hey, this helps you become a better gamer, a better player. No, not saying none of that. But here's what I am saying. For me, when it comes to self-improvement, multitasking, doing great things like that, while playing video games, in between sets and loading, being in queue, because the queue's gotten a little bit longer now. Ever since, I believe, Marvel Rivals was introduced to PlayStation 4, which was during the tail end of summer. So, yeah, I got I got dumbbells here. I got small resistant loops. I got large resistant loops. But let me tell you, um, before even starting to play Marvel Rivals, I will do 100 push-ups and sit-ups. Because I'm fairly older and it's something I'm doing new, um, I'm shocking my body. And in the process of doing so, I do 10 at a time. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 1 minute break. The next set, all the way, 10 sets of that, um, 10 reps, push-ups, sit-ups, and then I do variations too. I do the Mike Tyson push-ups where you bend your knees. I do freaking Navy SEAL push-ups. I do side-to-side push-ups. I do tricep push-ups. With sit-ups, I'll do crunches. I'll do side crunches, everything to work it. So I've already moved up in 2 weeks' time from 10 reps of push-ups and sit-ups to 15 reps of push-ups and sit-ups. And that rounded off my number to 105 each. Now, I plan on ripping it up again, probably once after I take a nap. But hopefully by next week, I can up my push-up and sit-up game even more while in between sets of playing Marvel Rivals. This is an effective thing for me. That's why I don't show my face when I live stream during while playing the game. Because, hey, I got other goals and ambitions. If people like what I got so far, great. Greatly appreciate it. Tips and all that kind of stuff is always appreciated and shows that you really have a stake in what it is I do. And so that has worked for me, especially when I just finished a match where either we had a good team and we still lost, and I'll give my dumbbells, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get that dude next time if I see him while I'm lifting some weights. So some of my workouts, because of that, have turned into 3-hour workouts in between playing Marvel Rivals. I think that's best of both worlds, because just sitting there, constantly playing the game, I'm a bit of an active person, and because of that, I think it's important to exercise the mind and body. That is very important to me. When I was a kid, ran outside and played out in the grass and stuff, and then when I freaking caught allergies and my eyes were red, I had to stay in the house, play video games, or did drawing, or read a book in my free time. So utilizing those times wisely, I think, really helps to expand one's drive, as opposed to just getting blown and pissed at a terrible team or a terrible player that may throw the match, or just a match that you couldn't win. I'm not saying everybody should do that. It works for me. Definitely works for me. So I'm thankful, always thankful, for me to show appreciation to the body that God has given me. And the best thing I can do is to treat my temple as best I can. So that's how I look at it. It may not sound like the greatest story, but it works for me. I'm getting my reps in, burning my muscle. Burning my muscles and rocking it out. So I feel great. I feel better, especially once I've gotten my exercise done as a whole. And very much worth it. So we are getting towards the last subject of this 97th episode of Strictly Art Live, and that involves some highlights from Canva and Affinity, what they have in store. So For anybody that uses this, if you didn't know, if you use Canva or if you use Affinity and you didn't know, here we go. We're going to cut through a series of these videos. Jazz is really kicking off this time. I commend them. They said the music is AI generated. Well, it's great background music that YouTube won't copyright strike me for. Alright, so I need to switch. There we go. So let's go through some of these together.
We have been living through what history will remember as the information age, where the internet unlocked access to information on a global scale, where the world's knowledge could fit in our pockets, where we connected not just devices, but billions of people and ideas. For a time, information was everything. We built our school systems around it. We built our careers, markets, and media around it. We treated it like the ultimate advantage. And it was. But now it's everywhere. We have become brilliant at building powerful tools to harness all of this information, but we have spent far less time imagining the world we actually want to build with it. So the question is, in a world where information is infinite, where do we want to go from here? What should we teach our children in school? What skills do we need and value? What will we feel proud to have left for the next generation? These are big questions, and answering them is going to take a lot more than just information. It's going to take imagination. But here's the problem. Imagination is still treated like child's play. It's not taken seriously in boardrooms, in classrooms, or in the conversations that shape our world.
Yep.
But we believe imagination is the most important skill that we have, because everything good was once imagined. Someone had to imagine that we could fly, that deadly diseases could be prevented. Someone had to imagine the internet, that women could vote, that a better world could exist at all. We believe this next era will be defined not by how much we know, but by how boldly we dream and what we choose to create together. This is our moment to step into a new era, the imagination era.
They say it's impossible until it isn't. They say it can't be done until it's done. They say don't be unrealistic until reality changes. Everything good was once imagined. What begins in our minds becomes the world around us. We live in the dreams of our ancestors, and tomorrow will be built by what we imagine today. This is the imagination era. What world will we imagine together?
So I remember I used to do these kind of like year-end reviews, and I think, what was it? Imagine 2018 or something like that. Kind of like the things I accomplished art-wise and stuff. Those are pretty fun. It's interesting that they're mentioning the imagination era now, and rightfully so with so much technology available. So here's the next feature, Canva video. So I use Canva for my thumbnails and video thumbnails as well, and intros. If you didn't know, that's kind of like been my main stable since I got introduced to Canva. And it's been great fun. I've had so much fun telling stories through thumbnails and intros. I can't thank them enough for the with the platform they've created. Let's see what's next.
Content creators, this one's for you. Your imagination should never be limited by your tools or skills. And when it comes to unleashing the creations you're dreaming up, few mediums are as engaging as, or emotional as, video. For too long, making videos has meant making trade-offs. Option 1, you go with the simple tools. They're fast, sure, but they come with a catch. Your content gets boxed in and your voice, vision, or brand gets lost in the process. Or you go with option 2, investing in professional software. But that comes with complexity, cost, and a steep learning curve that leaves most people behind. Content creators deserve something better. We imagine a world where you don't have to compromise, where powerful doesn't mean complicated and simple doesn't mean limited. And this is what you've been imagining too.
My name is Shanae Pringle from Charleston, South Carolina, and I use Canva every single day.
Hello from Austin, Texas.
One thing I wish Canva had, a more powerful video editing tool.
Right inside the Canva software.
I need Canva to elevate their video editing.
If Canva could be my go-to video editor, that would be a dream come true.
I think it's pretty cool that they actually highlight the requests of creators of what it is they will want to see more of with Canva. So I think that's helped them grow for a long time, for quite a bit. I didn't start using Canva until 2022, but I heard that Canva was originally established like in 2012. So it's been around for quite some time. And they've been growing, and the growth has truly shown by accepting the feedback of the creative and art community. And I think that's important too. When you see a art community grow and flourish, especially with just the software, and they constantly improve and listen to that community of people that use their products, you can see organically the growth that's involved. It's that simple, you know? So this right here is testament to true growth within a art community. No doubt about it. Even if it's just around the software, people come from different niches, whether it's independent or work for a company. I can testify that Canva's done a great job for the little amount of resources I've used of it. There's still so much more you can do in here. And I'm definitely learning that during this presentation.
Workspace where all of your team can work in one video file.
If it was a little bit better on mobile.
As someone who does social media, that would help me out tremendously, but I still love Canva always.
Salamat Canva. Bye.
So here it is, folks. We're proud to introduce our first exciting upgrade to the Visual Suite. Can I get a live drum roll from our house band? Introducing Video 2.0. Not just for editors, this is our commitment to being the best video platform in the world for content creators. Whether you're a first-time editor or a seasoned storyteller, Video 2.0 has everything you need to bring your ideas to life your way. No watermarks, no paywalls, no awkward exports, just intuitive, creative power at your fingertips. Drop in your clips with a quick prompt, and Canva's AI instantly generates multiple on-trend videos that match your vibe. Each one comes with smart cuts, on-beat timing, effects, and text built in. Pick your favorite and press post. It really is that easy. Video 2.0 gives you a brand new timeline that makes editing quick and effortless. Layer, trim, and sync every moment with precision. Your edits come together fast, so you can keep up with what's trending. We've also rolled out some incredible updates over the past year. Things like AI voiceovers, customizable captions, smarter animations, volume balancing, and instant edits. Plus,
So that's one of the things that I have used before. And actually, for the preview of this show, when I put it in the thumbnail, Kirby. Live audience, Steve Jobs format with a live band. What? Yeah, man, they stepping up. Next thing you know, they're going to have an AI live band with a robots going to start crashing into the cymbals. Psst. No, I'm kidding. What's up, man? How you been? Thanks for showing up, popping in. But yeah, with all the creative stuff going on, I mean, honestly, you can't just be just an artist anymore. There are so many tools out there, and they're being made. They're easier and easier to use now these days. Now I get it. For some people, if you do not want to touch AI, stick with that for the rest of your life and see how it turns out. But I know me personally for skill sets, I'm gonna always draw. I'm always gonna hand draw. I'm gonna use my hands to draw, whether it's on a tablet or using pencil and paper. However, the whole marketing aspect, especially on the independent scene, I will continue to learn new technology and apply it in ways that I, hope to. Because if I can't find the human resources and find those that are willing to work with me, and while I'm trying to pay them, you know, then I will find other ways to get the job done. Which is why I said last week, sometimes I'm a bad guy, and that may require me to be whatever I need to do, whatever I need to be in order to get the job done. All right, let's continue.
with Canva's massive library of fonts, graphics, audio, and templates, you've got everything you need to make videos that feel completely your own.
Now, that's one of the things I'm wondering if I can create my own fonts and put them into Canva. Because I've made my own fonts before using Affinity Designer, which uses vector line art.
I'm here to kick off our launches designed to grow, craft, and scale your business. I've spent my career in marketing, starting out at global agencies, building creative teams at world-class brands, and even launching my own products on the internet. I've worked on campaigns seen by millions of people, but I've also been the one refreshing Shopify dashboards at midnight, waiting to see if the ads I made would actually convert, or whether I'd be left with a warehouse full of charcoal face masks. These experiences have given me a front row seat to how marketing has completely transformed over the past decade. Not just in the tools that we use, but in terms of what it takes to win. Once, only the biggest brands could reach people at scale. They'd buy a TV spot, hope for the best, and move on. But digital marketing changed that, because what digital marketing unlocked wasn't just reach, it was the concept of a feedback loop. Suddenly, every business could reach people directly, test what works, and grow faster than ever. The teams that win today aren't just making great creative, they're closing the loop between insight and action, with every campaign learning from the last. But that feedback loop isn't accessible to everyone. Big teams have entire functions dedicated to it. Media buyers, designers, editors, or dedicated to running this loop. But at Canva, we're all about democratization. We believe everyone should have access to the tools they need to grow. So we want to make that same feedback loop available to any business that needs it, without the overheads. So imagine if you had your brand kit, your assets, your performance data, all connected in a single system, a place where every campaign learns from the last. This is the fastest, strongest, most connected feedback loop in marketing, helping you make work that wins.
You know, when I heard him say campaign, I was thinking, are they doing something that can apply to crowdfunding? That'd be great. Let's see. We say Kirby Curry said another thing I noticed is not only all these speakers Aussie accents, but they dress in a certain style and color palette. Absolutely. Look at the background. The background even matches his clothing color palette, so to speak. Yeah, this is an Australian, I think, Australian-based company, and Affinity Designer or Affinity. That whole thing where they have designer, photo, or Affinity Pixel and Affinity Publisher. It's like no subscription version of Adobe Creative Suite. They're Australian based too, so that's how Canva ended up buying Affinity as well. Kirby said no brand name print on their clothes or words. Good point. I guess they're leaving it to the imagination. Are they AI? You was joking, but they could be. Well, if they're not AI, they might have the chip already. Get ready. 2030, folks. This style is like a Reading Rainbow era. Well, they do have some happy colors in some of their stuff, but you know, from my takeaway is like using this software has been great for me. And like I said, I even mentioned it earlier in the show. You know, you don't have to follow everything that a company is on board with um, to get what you can out of it. You know, especially the software and stuff. Simple. If you're trying to promote stuff, trying to get stuff done, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
It's what you've been wishing for, so it's what we've been building. And it's called Canva Grow.
See, I think this would be great when I'm in a position to discount my artwork on my ArtStation or on my Art Tamarith, however way I can, or even on my Gumroad where I got my clothing line. I can definitely generate quick mock-ups like these with the images that I need. So it's pretty cool. As long as it frees up my time so I can do more time, spend more time to do art and get that whole production process going, great, And eventually I'm trying to get into animation as well. And I'm like reverse engineering it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but some of the stuff I do don't make sense until the results are done.
Let's have a look at how it works. Great marketing always starts with a great idea. You'll be able to browse high-performing ads from leading brands, so you'll never be lost for inspiration. Then Grow scans your website to understand your brand and products. And from there, it creates high-impact ads on demand. When your ads are ready, Grow skipped the usual download and upload hassle, and you can publish your ads straight to Meta, with more platforms coming soon. Grow uses AI to analyze.
Now, Meta is another avenue that I'm going to have to look at because, was it Facebook Marketplace? I hear people compliment that all the time for stuff that they're looking for. And if I can connect my Facebook Marketplace to my art station, that way people can go straight there and get what, buy what they want and have those prints sent right to them. Hey, frees up my hands. Even with my online comic book shop through Art Turmeric, the Ninth Art. If I can link that way when my next comic book is ready, people can just go there, Facebook Marketplace, order it, boom, have it shipped to them in no time flat. So we'll see. See what exciting new things I can try to accomplish next year. Because I'm already thinking about next year. I said that about a couple months ago. That's the best way to look ever forward.
Analyze performance and recommend improvements to your ads. The insights are easy to digest so your whole team can stay aligned. So from planning to creation, publishing and performance, you can now close the loop on your ad workflow. Canva Grow is available to everyone, but to those who need more advanced insights, can access them on our new Canva business plan. It's a plan for businesses with big aspirations to create faster, market smarter, and grow with confidence.
All right, yeah, here we go. Affinity, all its apps. Affinity Designer, which is a vector. Affinity Pixel, which is kind of like their Photoshop, and Affinity Publish, which is like for making magazines. Because I definitely want to utilize those tools. They're slightly different to use compared to Photoshop and other creative software, but I have been using them for a while.
Pro designers have had almost no choice in the tools we use. Bloated software that slows you down, siloed platforms that add friction to your workflow, and tools that are, of course, crazily expensive just because of corporate greed.
Amazing that they actually said that.
That's right. We have paid too much for too little. And I think it's time we change that, don't you? It's time that we put creatives first. It's time to unlock true creative freedom. Introducing the all-new Affinity. Now, until today, if you wanted to create using vectors, pixel or layout tools, you had to swap between apps all the time, use different tool behavior, inconsistent UI, each with their own steep learning curve. So today, we are revolutionizing this experience, bringing together all three creative workflows into one single harmonious app. And this is just so powerful. It's so powerful because you can instantly switch between these disciplines now without breaking your flow, unleashing your creativity to create.
Wait a minute. Is that Eric July? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Little joke. He's cool. I like Eric July.
Incredible designs. And for the first time ever, you can even mix any of these tools to create completely custom studios specifically crafted for your own workflow. It's literally like designing your own perfect creative app. And gone are the days of needing separate file formats for all your different projects. Blech. That's just so 2024. From now on, it's one format, and it's simply called .af. And you know what? We think that's pretty cool. You could even call it Cool AF.
Jokes are coming with that
I think we're going to have a bit of fun with that, aren't we? But all of this without any compromise on performance. So you can edit live with real-time previews and zero lag. And it's fully non-destructive, means all your effects and filters can all be applied or removed while keeping your original files intact. This means you can create fearlessly. And it's incredibly powerful too, handling huge documents with thousands of objects and unrivaled precision. You can even zoom into over 10 million%. Always a crowd pleaser, that. But I should say as well, we've built this in close collaboration with some of the top designers in the world. So Affinity really is for people obsessed with craft, built by people who respect your craft. Now, there is just one more thing. To truly empower professional creatives, we need to rewrite the rules of the industry. So, we're really proud to announce that the all-new Affinity is entirely free, forever, for everyone.
That right there is legendary. It's legendary. I'm already like second guessing my next annual subscription with Clip Studio Paint. Honestly, because that's crazy.
Oh yeah. How cool is that? This isn't a stunt, it's a statement. It's our commitment to your creative freedom, making all of these tools available at no cost. Now, every student, every freelancer, every studio, every enterprise has equal access to professional creativity. Because creativity, we believe, is not a luxury, it's a right. And now you have it, right? Affinity is free forever because creatives deserve better.
When did creating become complex, costly, corporate? Remember how you started? Creating for fun, for love. They blame the tools. We say, don't blame them, change them. Remind yourself how it feels. Complete creative freedom. Free to craft. Free to experiment. Free to do it your way. For free. Forever. Join the movement that says artists first and fall in love all over again. Welcome to Affinity. Creative freedom, free forever.
I thought you might like that. So, yeah, Affinity is entirely free, including everything you've seen so far and every future upgrade too. But there is something else that we're doing. Today, we're launching an all-new Canva AI Studio within Affinity. So if you do have a paid Canva account that includes AI, you can now access all of those features here too. That means you can create with generative fill, expand text to image, and much more, while still, of course, instantly being able to switch to Affinity's other tools to craft by hand. And, importantly, we never use your work to train AI models. Your creativity is yours.
Turn up the creator word.
So, there you have it, the all-new Affinity, crafting Affinity, scaling Canva, and I'm thrilled to announce that True Creative Freedom is available to download right now.
That's pretty legendary. What can I say? Let's see here. I only got a couple more, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up this show.
It's my great pleasure to announce that you can now use AI where you work. We're bringing AI into the Canva tools you use every day. So now you can turn a simple prompt into a complete editable template in seconds, right from the Design tab. Just describe what you'd like to see and watch the magic unfold. Drag and drop and start editing your new design instantly. Whether it's a social post for summer camp or a bespoke video for your business. And it's not just your overall design that's getting a level up. The content is too, because you can now use AI from the Elements tab.
For those of you that already use Canva and know what they're explaining, I remember when they first started introducing the AI option, it was totally separate from a lot of the other features, and they had like some, you could only use so many coins at one time, the energy to generate the AI. But it was kind of out of the way, so I end up not really messing with it too much. But that sounds like a good improvement because all your go-to features are pretty much in Elements. Um, your stock photos, your stock videos, your graphics, or kind of like clip art. Excuse me. That's how I found the Trump, hairstyle and put it on the Venom that I used to make the Attack of the Big Bad Orange Man thumbnail for Marvel Rivals, which I thought was pretty fun. And the music, the background, moving cars, all that was Canva. Absolutely great. The Venom itself, obviously, I use, an image off the internet and just got rid of the background, added the hair, and voila, it's a fun little clip or a thumbnail in motion.
Create anything you can imagine, from the perfect photo to match your mood, to the perfect video to express your vision. It really is that simple. And as of today, you can even generate brand new elements in 3D.
That's an even bigger plus because I've I've looked up certain things. Like sometimes when I do Strictly Art Live, it'll be 50th episode or something like that, and I want to look for like those golden numbers, the 5 zeros with the th at the end. And sometimes they had some that matched my color scheme, and sometimes it was kind of slightly different. So to be able to generate this, I think is pretty cool. This is just on the marketing side of things. What's my goal? My goal focus is to make comic books and stay out of the mainstream, just have it do 100% independent. And I'll use what marketing tools I can in order to put that stuff out there as best I can so it can look professional. That's my goal. But all the artwork, that is done by my hands and my hands alone. I'll use references to draw from, but specifically the artwork itself, I have a clear vision on how I want it to look. And that right there isn't AI generated at all. Not at all.
Rotate them any way you like and drop them straight into your design to create an even richer visual world. And so many of you have been wishing for an easy way to get all your elements in the same style. So here it is, style matching.
I think that's a good option too. Saves you some time from doom scrolling.
You can now take the style of one element and apply it to another in one click. So your whole design is telling the same story. So that's how Canva AI is transforming what goes on the page. But what about how you create? We've all had those moments where you get stuck on a color combination, you're unsure of the font, you're wondering whether the layout actually works. Imagine if you had a design expert by your side throughout the entire creative process. Someone you could ask for advice when you need it most. This next launch is another world first. Can I get another one of those drum rolls, please?
When the drummers
Introducing Ask Canva.
You know, I thought I saw some in the app before about that, and I didn't know what to ask. I was like, hey, I already know my vision. I just need to do it. But I might mess around with the Ask Canva and see what it's capable of doing. Anything to speed up the marketing process and the branding process. This is a portion of the production that I've talked about earlier. Notes in the notes regarding the art communities, ways of production if you want to just stay low key independent, and methods like that. So we're seeing it in real time and where it's going in the future.
It's your new creative partner right here in the comments. Now you can tag Canva in any design and ask for whatever you need, like a true design collaborator. You can chat through ideas, ask for suggestions, or even get help refining your work. And what you get back aren't just generic responses. Ask Canva actually looks at what you're working on, understands the context, and gives you advice that's specific to your design. From helping write the perfect headline, to adjusting your layout, or even getting a second opinion on color. Designing in Canva is now as easy as having a conversation. So there you have it. The AI layer of our creative operating system is complete. We've just launched the new Canva design model, AI right where you work, and a world-first way to design with just a conversation. Let's see how it all works together.
Nice.
In today's fast-paced digital workplace, video is
We did that. What else is there? Your new branding. That's a lot of these little segments.
Today, creativity is what gives businesses the competitive edge. But as an organization scales, its brand needs to stretch across more people, products, and platforms than ever before. Keeping it consistent is a big challenge. I've seen this with my own eyes. The Canva brand is crafted by a team of around 120 creative specialists, but used by over 5,000 Canvanauts across the globe. Without the right tools, the brand can go rogue. And too often, the responsibility falls on one team, the in-house brand team. They're pulled into endless requests. Oh, can you just tweak this, fix this? Can you make this one more on brand? This creates costly bottlenecks, and it pulls their time away from the big picture creative thinking that really moves a brand forward. So today, we're changing that. Because brand management shouldn't be about control. It should be about confidence. Confidence that every team in every market can create on brand with ease. That's the future you've been asking for. So, let's grant your wishes, shall we? Introducing the new Canva brand system.
She didn't have to. She didn't even have to ask for that drum roll. She must be the boss.
The most powerful way to manage your brand at scale. Building on the success of brand kits, the new brand system is even more powerful because it's connected right across Canva and powered by AI. Let's show you how it works with the Pinterest brand. First, you can use AI to do the heavy lifting by building your brand kit with fonts, colors, guidelines, and brand voice all in the right place. Next, create a brand kit homepage where everything lives together. Visual tiles keep everything beautifully organized, customizable, and easy to navigate.
This is something
So
else I
every
need to
team
check out too.
can find what they need fast and stay on brand. Your brand guidelines and tips live right where you work. Access your brand kit and clear in-context brand guidance while designing in the editor, no tab switching needed. And now, Canva AI also understands your brand. Just attach your brand kit when generating a new design, and your first draft automatically reflects your fonts, colors, tone, and style, so every design starts perfectly on brand. We've already put these tools into the hands of some of the world's biggest brands, who are scaling their brands across thousands of people, like Walmart, who use Canva's brand system to keep their brand consistent across the entire company, from the marketing department to the talent team. And Virgin Voyages Cruise Line, who use brand system who use brand system to create social content to promote their trips and drive bookings. So, that's brand system. Supporting your whole organization to create at scale.
I'm such a sucker for that.
Where you?
Well, I'm such a sucker for that. That little quick little string that's being played. Reminds me of Jamiroquai. Okay, so I just did the brand system. Yeah, the email. I definitely got to get into email, creating an email list.
This next launch reimagines a tool for marketing.
Definitely got to get into emails because I had an email list before, but I was no good at writing emails every week and keeping people up to date. It was a lot of work back then, but I can do more now. So why not utilize all the tools that I have at my disposal?
Marketers, something that's everywhere, incredibly powerful, but let's be honest, hasn't evolved in decades. I'm here to change the way you design emails. But first, a little history. Emails as we know it was born in 1965, but it doesn't get going until the @ symbol was added in 1971. In 1992, attachments arrived, followed almost immediately by the world's most popular follow-up email. Oops, forgot attachments. In 1996, Hotmail launches, and so do our first email addresses. 1, 2, 3. And in 1998, email hits the big screen and a year later, it hits the airwaves with Britney's track, Email My Heart. Then, in 2007, everything changes. Because email goes mobile, and suddenly, they're everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And most of what hits our inbox is pretty boring. But it doesn't have to be. Email is one of our most personal channels. And for marketers, they're a powerful opportunity for richer communication, genuine personalization, and meaningful connection. But the current tools aren't helping. They're hard to use, hard to make beautiful, and incredibly manual.
Yes.
You told us you feel the same way over and over again. So we listened. And now the wait is over. Please welcome the newest member of the Visual Suite, Email Design. Now, you can design, customize, and export on-brand emails all in one place. No more rigid email builders, just an easy, fast way to design emails in the same place as all your other marketing materials. And the best part, it all works just like the Canva you already know. Choose from hundreds of email templates, including designs specific to your industry. You can customize your email with expertly designed headers, icons, and buttons, and even add photos and videos from the content library. Then apply your brand kit to keep everything on brand. Plus, you can preview your new email on mobile or desktop and send test emails for that final check. When you're happy, download it as HTML ready for any platform. And that's Email Design, the newest member of the Visual Suite. Giving one of marketing's oldest tools a much-needed glow-up.
Baby, baby. Keep saying Jamiroquai. Let me see. Emails. Data meets Canva code. Yeah, that's beyond me. Forms. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Community wish list. Oh, okay, that's everybody that emails design. Okay. Yeah, so those are some pretty powerful tools. Some of them maybe forms. Let me look at forms because forms might be good for like email list. But the data meets Canva code, that might be over my intellectual pay grade.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yu Ting, and I'm the engineering manager for our editing features team right here at Canva. And I'm here tonight to announce our second update to the Visual Suite. In 2022, we launched Canva websites with the belief that building a beautiful website should be easy and accessible for everyone. Since then, they've become a go-to tool for our community. Just earlier this year, we launched new multi-page websites so that you can create full sites that grow with your ideas.
Your site looks good on any device and is fully responsive on mobile. Whether you're collaborating on a campaign or building a sales hub for your client, Canva websites are free to build.
You hear that? Collaborating on a campaign. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Okay. So I never ruled out crowdfunding campaigns for my comics. Like I said, hey, having a storefront has worked for me. It's been available. I just need to put out more books. My first book I put out in 2019. You know, not really worth people wanting to really get it, but the production process does work. Like right now, I could order samples of that same book, or once I upload my new book, I'll get samples of it before I have it published and ready to go. But once I get enough books, I'm definitely gonna crowdfund for graphic design. Myself and Ray Haylock had talked about that before, and he had started up a website for me that looks similar to like Indiegogo with the bells and whistles. So he's got that on standby once I am ready to have product in that regard. Graphic design book, or I'm sorry, graphic novel, trading cards, bookmarks. In fact, I made some bookmarks with my artwork on it because I had so many comic books that I wanted to go over, but I read them like every couple pages and then put a bookmark in them. But I didn't have any, so I was like, shoot, let me go ahead and make my own bookmarks. And sure enough, made it on Canva, had it shipped right to me in no time flat, and I got plenty of them. So bookmarks is a thing. Stickers, I don't really know. Maybe I have Printful to make stickers, but I don't know if the pricing is worth it. So I'll take all of that into account for what it is I'm trying to do. But so far, so good.
Launch and run. Plus, analytics are built in, so you're always informed about views and engagement. All sounds pretty great, right? And it is, and we're so proud of what we built, though there's been one missing piece until now. Because the best websites, they aren't just beautiful, they're interactive. But creating a truly interactive website, well, that still requires a dev team and a really complex backend system. And all of this means collecting information from your audience isn't easily accessible to all. But imagine if your website could do more. Imagine if it could collect signups, feedback, questions, whatever you need, and it was all built in. Well, it turns out, plenty of you have imagined exactly that. And we can't wait to bring it to—
Wait, what? Signups, emails, and for a website?
And we can't wait to bring it to you with our new whatever you need, and it was all built in. But imagine if your website could do more. Imagine if it could collect signups, feedback, questions, whatever you need, and it was all built in. Well, it turns out, plenty of you have imagined exactly that. And we can't wait to bring it to you with our new interactive and interconnected forms.
Oh, okay, that's what it's going to.
This is a brand new way to collect information that doesn't just gather responses. It turns information into insights that you can actually use. These forms aren't just functional, they're part of your full brand experience. You can drag and drop a customizable form straight into a website or even a presentation and forget the integrations and third-party tools. This is built right into Canva. This is made for your brand and ready when you need it. So use it to collect signups, feedback, pre-orders, any important information from your audience. Then, when the responses start rolling in, they flow straight into Canva Sheets, turning data into insights that you can—
Now, I wonder, with the payment processor, what Canva will allow. Probably Square, or what's the other one? Shoot, I can't think of the name. Square or the daggone it. Give me 1 sec. I want to make sure that I get the name down. what is it called? Shoot. Square, PayPal, and then there's one more. Daggone it. I can't find it. But yeah, it's a lot of options, which I think is important. We'll see which ones Canva does use for that, and we'll keep it moving. I want to let it go, but I can't. No, I don't see it. All right, let's just get back to this.
And act on right away.
Oh, that's it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty good run through of what Canva is offering now. We had a pretty good run through of what Canva is offering now. It's quite a bit, even more than what I originally thought it would be, and that's pretty cool. Hold up, let me crank some music as we get ready to wrap things up. All right, so here's what I got so far from these different references. Can't wait to do that one next time or whenever I have free time. But I think while on my next set of live streams, this is kind of what I'll be working on: limbs, arms, creative stuff like that. Since I can't really show my comic book while I'm working on it. However, I will say that yeah, this was pretty good practice. It was a break from what I normally work on. So I think this was good fun. And then ways to be a little creative. The warp tool is the greatest. So yeah, I had fun working on these. I had a little additional features more than what was on here. I'm a sucker for shading, so found me guilty. But yeah, Canva, good lord, they have really stepped up their game, and I'm gonna have to think about whether or not I want to continue Clip Studio Paint, because I use Clip Studio Paint mainly for, yes, the coloring, and also for the inking. The inking is so great over there, and I got so many really good brushes, just like I do have on here and on Procreate. So I really got to decide, is it worth it to continue? Because I mean, hey, I got no complaints with Clip Studio Paint, none at all. However, if I can save $200 a year, that's smart business sense. But Affinity, their Pixel, I don't know if it's that good at drawing. Well, I got Procreate for that, but I don't know if it's that good for the inking process. So that's something I'm going to have to weigh as well and see how that may have an effect on formatting when I have my stuff ready to print, especially in the metal prints, because I want to make sure it meets those expectations. And I got other places I can get the metal prints from as well. It's just that with ArtStation, they give me a discount for getting my own prints to test them out, see how they look, see the results and everything. So I'll have to weigh a lot of options coming up next year. Just like any company or any person that's being creative and spending money in being creative, you always have to weigh what is the best option for the amount of money you spend. And honestly, hey, if Affinity is offering a way to have software that you can use that's totally free and is connected to Canva, which I already got a subscription for, that's a heck of a deal, man. That is a serious heck of a deal. That's the type of thing that makes you think twice. You know, I got that Kevin Smith like contemplating look after Diamond, started shutting down, but in a good way. It's like, wow, I got to retrace my steps. So yeah, in the world of creativity, especially if you're using tools, digital tools, and things like that, you always have to constantly reassess what works for you, what's effective. Even sometimes the software, the prices go up. So you got to look at all those things too for the best fit for what you're doing. And make sure that what you're using gets a decent return on investment. Obviously, if you're just using basic art supplies, the price is the price. The price is the price in my Albanian voice from Taken. So yeah, I think these were pretty good practice. Messing with the eyes. I saw this on Twitter, so I was like, or X. And I figured this would be a good little practice for this show because I knew I had some Canva footage to cover and things like that. So kind of taking a little bit of pressure off some of the stuff I have been working on. But yeah, we'll see. And also with Affinity Designer, since it's vector based, I do have some brushes in there that are specifically comic book brushes. And with vector line art, you can do so much with that. It's pretty crazy. So we'll see. Not entirely, ready to just jump the gun on Clip Studio Paint, but gotta weigh the best options. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this show. This is a powerhouse 2.5-hour show where we covered a number of useful subjects that hopefully you can apply when it comes to some notes in the art community. Growth is always important. Every year, assess what works, see what doesn't work, change it, improve however way you can. That's how I look at it. It's worked for me pretty good. And sometimes, doing what everybody else does doesn't always work. So you got to weigh those options for your individual goals specifically. Thanks to Kirby that stopped by, and also the people trying to sell me free views or trying to sell me views and stuff like that. You guys are always the main stable. And yeah, thanks for watching the show. And I think our next show is going to be, let's see here. Next show is probably going to be on the 19th, probably next Wednesday or Wednesday after next. And yeah, we'll make it happen. Friday shows are so-so, but I think Wednesday show is pretty good. Middle of the day, middle of the week, happy hump day, that kind of thing. So yeah, and if you like this type of show format with the subjects that I covered, aside from the anime, let me know more things of software and product use for creativity specifically, because that's where I'm aiming at, that you maybe will want to see and or inform me of, because I can't keep up with it all. I got a bunch of art software that I actually don't use, and I can use them. It's just a matter of what's the most effective, and those are free. So once again, I gotta weigh my options. Alas, the stress of choices. Too many choices, too little time. Thanks again for stopping by and enjoying the show. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a like, comment, follow, subscribe. You can follow me on all my social medias that are on the crawler at the bottom of the screen. That is linktree/RWARTS. Linktree/RWARTS. Rob Wilson, that's me. That can get you to all my stuff. All my stuff. Also, on a side note, I haven't done this before. Well, let me correct myself. I started this profile when there was a mass exodus from Instagram due to artists not wanting their art to be training the Meta AI, and it's called Kara. I have not placed anything on it yet, but I do have a profile on it. I'll add it to my link tree eventually as well. So yeah, I'll probably post some art in here, and yeah, we'll get it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. May it be a happy one. And I'm Rob Wilson. Be sure to keep your head in a swivel. Hug those that you love. Treat every day as if it's your last. And if anyone tells you that tomorrow's promised, remember, it's a setup. Y'all take care. Peace out. That jazz. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Something about jazz in the fall season. All right, I'm out.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Miami's hot, the stars went cold. We lost the line, we broke the mold. No fleet, no orders, just the glow. Psycho grins and flips his collar.